Tag and Brag Nation, what's up? It's your boy Dean. We're out here shooting a little bit today. We've been doing that the past few weeks, but one of the questions we got this week, and we've had this before, is mechanical or fixed blade broadhead. I think everyone has that debate. Traditionally, they started making mechanical broadheads to shoot like your field tips. I mean, normally with a fixed blade broadhead, the problem was you always have to tune them to your bow after you shot all summer with your field points, so they wouldn't shoot the same. There's a number of fixed blade broadheads on the market now that are tuning and shooting the same as your field points, which is a huge advantage now. The disadvantage of a mechanical broadhead is it takes energy to open up when it hits the animal. So one of the biggest things for me personally, for Dave and I, is kinetic energy and penetration when we're hunting, especially big game. That's the most important thing, at least I think, is when you're hunting a deer. When kinetic energy is taken away after a mechanical broadhead is open, you're only lessening your chance of penetration. So that is our really number one argument or debate for shooting a fixed blade broadhead. Our main reason for shooting these fixed blade broadheads is because of the marginal shot. Every situation in the woods is different. You can target shoot all you want. You can practice all you want, but the situation in the woods, the placement of the animal, the angle they're at, is never going to be the same. Every time it's never going to be the same that you're practicing at, and the fixed blade broadhead is going to help that. A mechanical, there's only room for error when those blades are opening and closing on angles, or for it to just become a disadvantage to your shot. So just for a little example, I'm going to shoot a fixed blade broadhead and a mechanical into, oh yeah, just have a plywood board, actually two of them. We're going to see how far they penetrate. I'm going to see what happens to a two-bladed expandable and a ramcat broadhead, which is the fixed blade that we shoot. I'm just going to shoot the ramcat first. You guys all know about them. We've talked about them on previous Q&As. This is the broadhead we shoot. We believe in it 150%. We've had crazy success with it, but I've never shot it into plywood, so we're going to see what happens here. And by the way, these are both the same arrows, our Bloodsport arrows with the APS outsert. It's a very, very strong arrow, so I'm giving an advantage, or at least a level playing field, to both broadheads we're shooting. Alright, arrow number 2 is the competitor. I won't say names, but it is a two-blade, large cutting, expandable broadhead. But there's a lot of them that are like that on the market. A lot of people like these big entry holes, but we're going to see what this one does to plywood. Alright, let's go check it out. So this is a pretty cool test. It's actually eye-opening for me too. The difference is insane to me, but this bottom one is the ramcat, this top one is the large two-blade expandable, and the ramcat penetrated. I have another plywood board about 18 inches away from this first one, and the ramcat went all the way through, and it's lodged right into the back one. I can't even pull it out, so it got about almost 18 inches of penetration through a plywood board. The two-bladed mechanical literally went in about 2 inches, maybe. The APS outsert is still sticking out about 3/4 of an inch outside of it. That is a perfect example of what happens all the time. I don't want to knock them, because there's a lot of mechanical broadheads that are great on the market, but you'll see it on the outdoor channel, any hunting shows, any hunting videos all the time. A lot of people using big two-blade expandables. They don't get penetration. A lot of that arrow's sticking out of the animal after they shoot. But this is exactly why we shoot a fixed blade broadhead, and more importantly, this is exactly why we shoot the ramcats right here. So real quick too, the reason I put two plywoods here about 18 inches apart is to kind of simulate two shoulders, two sides of a deer. Two-blade mechanical pretty much went nowhere. As soon as it hit bone, it stopped. And the only thing that stopped this ramcat broadhead was this plywood, and it still busted through. If that's a shoulder, it busted the second, not only through the first one, but busted the second one as well. So I mean, that's devastating right there. It's crazy that is all because of kinetic energy. That kinetic energy to take those two blades and open them through a hard surface like a plywood or a bone, just took it all out of that arrow. And that's a strong arrow, trust me. It didn't break, and no kinetic energy was taken out of that ram cat. That's why, I mean, the power of these things are just crazy, and it shows right there. We've actually never done this before, but I'm glad I did, because the proof is in the pudding right there. You can't stop these broadheads. Tag and Brag Nation, thanks for watching this week. It was a fun experiment and certainly an eye-opener for us. Hopefully it was for you too. Zach Sudler, thanks for asking the question. Be sure to send us your address. We're gonna get a hoorag coming your way. You know what? As bow hunters, it is our job to consistently try to always make a clean kill, and in our eyes, the #1 way you do that is to maximize your penetration and utilize all of your equipment's kinetic energy. And the one way you do that is use a fixed broadhead. Proof is in the pudding. Tag and Brag Nation, have a great rest of the week. Let us know what else you want to see, and we'll be right back here next week with a Q&A, doing some crazy stuff outdoors, experiments, activities, whatever you want to see. It was fun this week. Thanks for the questions, Zach. Tag and Brag out.